I think when you're at an event like this, it gets to be really obvious that games, which have historically been something that you play by yourself, especially over the past 5 to 10 years, has started to shift dramatically, towards online play. That shared experience. Doing game AI like I do, I've normally been focused on the single player type of experience, and that's what we all we're used to for so many years. But there's no denying that as more stuff goes on, obviously the big darling in the industry is Blizzard with World of Warcraft. Everybody knows about that, but there's a lot of other players that have come out for all different types of demographics, and now even Facebook, for example, has started including games that you can play against other people, with other people. And so the online gaming is now the focus, for the most part, of what the next big thing is in the industry. And it is kind of intriguing because there's the possibility space of what you could do with that is so huge, because of the fact that you're involving many people in many different environments. And so it's a matter of just tapping into what's the next cool thing, rather than doing, well, they did this and so we're going to do it also. And is there something different that can be done? And actually, that's one of the reasons I was here. Being an AI guy, I kind of stand out in this crowd because online games haven't historically, been something that was AI driven. They've been player driven. But what I was trying to do with my lecture that I spoke on this week was saying, what if? What if we took the AI techniques that we use in single player games to make that exciting against the environment experience, and use them in the online games to, rather than playing against other people or playing against a really big but very stupid computer-controlled enemy, what if we made that challenging as well? And how would that change the player dynamic? Not only the individual experience, but more importantly, the experience of the group together. Now we have to work together to survive. We have to communicate. We have this shared experience of it's us against all of those big ugly creatures that are really acting more intelligent than we may be used to in other games. And I have found out that discussing AI in online games can be grouped with politics and religion, of things you don't talk about in polite company. Not that any different belief system is wrong, but people prefer certain things that they're comfortable with. And so you can actually get into some pretty animated discussions about, well, no, this is just fine the way we're doing it. And so I was just wanting to open that up. What if, and how would that change how we experience the online games with each other? And throwing that out there to see what happens. Because I believe that there is a possibility to, again, do something different, as I mentioned before. AI is very dependent on the information that is either in the world or of what's going on. And of course, in an online game, what's going on is on everybody else's computers a lot of times. What did this player just do? And then being able to process all of that. And so as we've had the increases, not only in the back end on the server hardware that's running these worlds, and these massive amounts of server farms and everything, but also as the connectivity has been getting better, whether it be faster or more stable or whatever the case may be, we've been able to tap into that a lot more, because before it was just enough to push out the simple stuff we were doing and get simple information back. But now that feedback loop can be a little tighter, there's more we can do with it. And then with the addition of the voice communication between players, it allows for better communication between them. So as you are adding more challenging environments that require them to communicate, they don't have to stop what they're doing and type a quick message. The communication between them with the voice over IP, whatever, becomes an integral part of the game, that you have to do this to survive. And if you are not doing the voice over because you don't have the bandwidth or whatever, you're going to be left out. And so it is very much something that was not even necessarily available a few years back, until the adoption of the server hardware and the pipelines to push and pull out to the rest of the world. So I think that that's exciting as that continues, How can we tap into that even further and make it that much more dynamic experience? You know what? Grab a handful of coins and flip them. I don't think anybody, and if it were that easy to say, this is the next big thing, then there'd be quite a lot of rich CEOs around. But I think to not answer your question but be cagey about it is there's a lot of other possibilities. And we can look and find them, but it's a matter of not doing the same cookie cutter thing over and over again. What can we do that's different that our players might like, that our players might find as a different experience? And AI only being one portion of the problem. It could be appealing to niche demographics rather than try what can we do that is going to appeal to everyone. And that's not going to work. But there's a lot of room for being able to say, I'm going to make something that is really near and dear to this group of people. How do I craft that experience and this one and that other one? We're not limited by anything but our own imagination at this point, and especially as the technology continues to evolve, it is no longer a limiting factor. We are the limiting factor. So what do we do next?